We've reached a time where the accessibility to purchase anything is at the tips of our fingers. We don't even have to leave the couch in order to buy movies and have it shipped directly to our front doorstep. But why does it feel like it's getting harder and harder to collect the movies that we want to buy as physical media collectors? My grievances are unique as I am from the great white north of southern Ontario, Canada. Something happened. There's been a shift in the market where deals are few and far between, accessibility to new releases are locked behind regions, and predatory practices from studios making every upcoming release worse than the previous Blu-ray release. Today, we're going to be talking about what a shit show it is to be a physical media and a movie collector in the year of our Lord, 2025. What is up, everybody? I am Mason for the Mockbuster YouTube channel, and I've been feeling this feeling for quite a while, and I just wanted to make a video on it, just to pour my grievances. And if you're also feeling these grievances, let me know down below your story. Now, I will say this. I am very privileged to be in a place where I'm only 30 minutes away from downtown Toronto, to be able to go to like a mom and pop shop, like an iSource Cinema, like a Bay Street Video, and to pick up a boutique or even a regular 4K for MSRP prices. But it feels like there's been an active shift that has been abrupt, that I just can't compute why. Walmart's used to be my haven for physical media. Check out my hunting videos from 2021 to 2022. I had 3 Walmarts in a 20-kilometer radius. That's 13 miles for you guys down south. Physical media section with 2 to 3 aisles. Now I go there and I'll be lucky if my local Walmart even stocks more than 2 of the new releases, while also gutting the main movie sections. Big box stores deem that buying physical media is just a waste of space since the sales aren't what they used to be, and thus it has limited its availability. This is why I always preach to support physical media, because not only does it show companies that the films that we enjoy are worth investing in, but that these releases are worth making. For comparison, for my United States brethren, imagine if the only place you could pick up a movie was in Target. Ugh, I can hear the shudders. And while I am very excited that Walmart has taken up the mantle after Best Buy got out of the physical media market, it is only a US exclusive acquisition that requires so much effort for those interested in these releases. Look what's going on with this recent Quentin Tarantino 4K debacle, not debacle, but like here in Canada, we have to pay $40 fucking for catalog titles. They don't come with the slipcover, and we don't even have access to those steelbooks. Technology is at its most accessible, yet due to these arbitrary borders that society has placed on geographic locations, a place right next door to us can receive every boutique 4K, every Walmart exclusive Lionsgate steelbook, and every slipcover that is available on release day for MSRP. Here in Canada, we have to pay up to $40 for a 4K with no slipcover and oftentimes no digital code. For instance, we have the case of Dune and Dune 2. Now, while Warner Brothers still do 4K releases with a slipcover, look at this release. You have the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the digital code. This was $34.99 when it came out day one. And now, 3 years later, we're paying $36.99 before tax, by the way. We also have to pay a 13% sales tax on top of that. So we get shafted either way. It comes with a slipcover, no Blu-ray, no digital code, and it's more. Where is the price proposition action? I feel like we're getting gypped actively. And so let's get down to the brass tacks. Over the last few years, physical media collectors have faced an uphill battle. Major retailers are cutting back and eliminating disc sales. Prices are climbing extremely high, and studios are shifting their focus to streaming services. Tracking down a 4K or even a Blu-ray has become more difficult than ever. And so talking more about Best Buy, in 2023, Best Buy confirmed that it would completely phase out the sales of DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4K UHD discs in early 2024, affecting both US and Canadian markets. Now, we still have Blu-ray and 4K discs here in Canada. I actually made a hunting video a couple days ago, check it out. But it's just, the availability is just so minuscule. If I wanted to buy a 4K steelbook, I have to be at the ready, at the whim, at 3 o'clock in the morning when it gets announced, or I'll never get it ever again. Now, recently, they've had some measures where it's a little easier, like maybe if you don't get it the first day, But after that day, if you overslept, or I don't know, if you're busy with work or something, and you just don't keep your eye on the pulse, and you were just interested in getting the new 4K Steelbook for Smile 2 or something, you're never going to find that. And what's worse was that Best Buy was a safe haven for a lot of people, especially for me as a Canadian physical media collector. I'm going to go down to Buffalo and New York and those surrounding areas and go to the Best Buys. Again, I've done many hunting videos in the US where I go to Best Buys and I'm absolutely shocked. So many signs, so many aisles, so many steelbooks, catalog releases, brand new releases that came out 5 years ago that are still on their shelves because they actively restocked them. That's completely gone. Walmart doesn't actively restock older releases. Now they're doing re-releases for steelbooks, but it's hard to come by a release from 2019 or something, or a 4K of that with the slipcover, or even just there in general. It's hard to see those, but Best Buy had them, and they had that market on lock, but for some reason, I guess, they just deemed it not to be necessary. And then for collectors who like to browse in store, the shift is extremely frustrating. Finding older films, again, niche titles, or limited editions have become increasingly difficult as retail space shrinks. But not only are these discs harder to come by, they're also getting jacked up the way in prices. The cost of producing physical media, everything from the manufacturing of the discs, from the cases to the printing of the slipcovers, and special packaging has increased immensely, to the point where in Canada, we have bylaws that require companies to have it in both English and French. They're like, fuck you, we're not going to do that, and we don't get slipcovers. Yet it's still the exact same price. And it's crazy because you'd think with them doing price cutting options, the price would result in cheaper discs, but in fact the price is increasing. So make it make sense, guys. It just feels really predatory and scummy. Don't even get me started on when we used to buy movies on Zavvi and they just like, no, we're not going to ship anymore to the United States or to North America. It's like, goddamn. Steelbooks and all these kind of things have also experienced a lot of a price hike. You can't find most steelbooks here in Canada are $50, was absolutely insane. And I've seen some prices for especially these newer releases in the US where they can go for $50 US. Now imagine that converted to Canadian plus the import fees plus the 13% taxes. It's just insane. Don't even get me started on the whole debacle with the 4K players. It's like they don't even care anymore. Now, I know a lot of people are using that kind of example of, oh my god, physical media is dying, physical media is dead, you'll never be able to buy physical media ever again. That's not the case, guys. Physical media is here to stay, and there's an obvious market for it. It's just getting a lot more annoying to be a fan of physical media because of how many not loopholes, but how many hurdles you have to go through just to buy a goddamn 4K. Not to mention if you're a super nerd like me and you love packaging and you love the whole aspect of steelbooks and slipcovers and that kind of thing. You know, God forbid, you know, you take passion in certain things like that. Like how people buy vinyls. They're not going to just buy the record. They want the gatefold. They want the limited edition pressing. Same thing with physical media collectors. But it's crazy. Samsung and Oppo stopped making 4K Blu-ray players years ago. Remember when Oppo was like, dude, you gotta get an Oppo because that's the prime quality. And now it's like they don't even make them anymore. Sony and Panasonic still manufacture them, but the options are extremely dwindling. Gaming consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X support 4K Blu-rays, but they don't support Dolby Vision, and so you kind of feel like you're being left out of the crowd. At least with Blu-rays, it kind of felt like, oh, you have a PS3, that's the only way to go. You can play games on it too, you can watch television, Netflix, all those kind of things, and play some Blu-ray movies. Now the PS5, for some reason, doesn't come with Dolby Vision, and so I guess you're shit out of luck. But I'll make a video about that coming soon, about HDR and Dolby Vision. Like, it's not the death of physical media that a lot of these big brands are getting out of the hardware section, but it is telling based on the fact that they're seeing it as more of a niche kind of thing instead of a mass consumer product. Don't even get me started when we finally get a 4K, when they announce it, oh, it comes with the great packaging, and we're finally getting a movie that we absolutely love, and then they're like, oh, guess what? We're gonna put artificial intelligence and digital noise reduction to make everything look shitty, and it's like, what the hell is the point? I know I've screamed from the top of the hills that AI is killing film and is killing these 4K transfers because when you go through so many hurdles just to get the disc in your hand, and when you finally get the disc in your hand, it's a shit product, and they expect you to pay so much money for it, and then when you don't buy it, because obviously it's a shit product, they're like, oh, I guess no one really cares about physical media, so we're gonna put less effort into it, and it's a complete spiral, and it goes to a point where I'm so frustrated with the fact that even filmmakers are defending the use of AI in their own movies, and it's so frustrating because people are actively taking classic films that we love, and then they're like, oh, let me enhance it with AI bullshit and make things look ugly. Like, some of these movies look absolutely ugly, and I can't on good faith be like, yeah, you should buy it because 4K is the premium format. And it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth now that every single 4K comes out. You have to be really wary on, is it gonna look good? And it really takes a lot of the wind out of the sails, at least for me as a physical media collector, because I was like, yeah, get into physical media, because if you love films, this is how you support it, and you're gonna get a great product, a great image, and it's overall, this is the way you should watch movies. But now as these releases are coming out with all this AI and all this bullshit, because I guess it's cheaper, who knows, they're thinking it's innovation, but it's not really, because it's ruining. Like, you perfect 35mm film, you have a good 4K scan, or even an 8K scan like 7 was, and then you just have it like that, and just show it, and people will love it, or at least give us the option. But now that people are putting AI, and it's making everything look shitty, like, look at my worst movies of 2024 and 2023. Those had terrible transfers with really bad AI for films that I absolutely love. Films like T2, films like Aliens, films like True Lies, films like Footloose, films like American Graffiti, iconic films that are getting these lackluster and downright awful transfers. That's why I feel like a lot of this physical media, like, not that the passion is going away, because clearly I made a fucking, I don't know how long, 15-minute video of me yapping about physical media, but it's really telling the fact that costs are being cut, prices are going up, availability is going down, and the quality is not even there. So, like, as a premium format, you're trying to accentuate the fact, like back in the day when DVDs came out, their biggest selling factor from people to go from VHS to DVD, not only was it, I guess, standard definition, but it was also all those bonus features, all those juicy extra features to, I guess, push the format. So the 4K, the whole thing to push that format was how good the quality is, right? 4 times sharper with HDR. But now we're getting lackluster bullshit transfers, and their main selling point isn't what it used to be. And I'm seeing a lot of people just being like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray's $10 to $15 cheaper, and then it's like, that's the go-to thing now. So it's like, as a 4K advocate and as a lover of 4K quality, like, as you can see from this video, like, it's just really disappointing to see one of my passions and one of the things I absolutely love really deteriorating, especially because it was so good. And you think as the years progress, the quality should progress and everything should be getting better, because we learn from our mistakes and we know how to deal with the things, and we look at based on the income and how many people buy things. We should be expecting and, you know, increasingly upgrade, like things like OLED TVs. Now, before, like, burn-in rate used to be really bad, now the panels are fantastic and the burnout rate is very low, things like that. But it's just really disheartening as a big tech fan, seeing the deterioration of these 4K transfers and these 4K discs, and especially how much they're costing. It's really frustrating, and it's really sad, and it's just the state of physical media collecting, especially movie collecting, is really hectic, and it's really confusing, and it takes a little bit of the wind out of my sails. But I'm still gonna be here. I'm gonna still be ranting, because again, I love film. Film is one of my favorite art forms. No other art forms besides music has been able to affect me as much as film, and film encompasses every form of art. You got music, visual storytelling, you got writing, you got performance art, you got all of these things. I've cried watching movies, and so it's kind of sad when these companies don't share that same excitement or passion that we do. I know some other people have different perspectives. Maybe they think it's so easy, I can just buy it online and it comes to my house. But, you know, on my situation, I don't have the ability to, you know. Thinking about Amazon, you can get a Kino Lorber 4K. It's increased by $20 when MSRP is $35 or $30. But, you know, some people only can rely on Amazon to buy their physical media, and they're price gouging, and it's just real scummy and real predatory behavior in our physical media, I guess, market. And it's just really annoying to see, because I've been seeing a lot of people discussing what physical media is about. Every year people make those, you know, is physical media dying? Is it dead? And I just want to give my 2 cents that no, it's not dying, it's not dead. It really depends on what companies want to do, and if we're here to support that. Again, my biggest takeaway is to support physical media, but to always vote with your wallet. If we're seeing releases of films that we love that aren't getting the just desserts, then we shouldn't buy it, and we should show that, hey, this is not what we're going to stand for. But in cases like The Northman, this film damn near almost bombed at the box office because, again, it's a Robert Eggers Viking movie, but it made its money back and it profited from the physical media releases, and then Robert Eggers got more movies, you know. Then we got Nosferatu, which is also doing numbers. So again, physical media matters because it shows us, especially if you love film and if you enjoy movies, buying a movie physically is easily the best way to support movies and to support the films you love, because it actually sends a message to the higher up CEO conglomerates who don't give a shit, they only care about money, and that people actually care about this, and they'll give leeway to filmmakers and to production companies to actually make quality stuff. And so again, vote with your wallet, because that's the most important thing you can do. Now with tariffs and everything, people forget that these discs are printed in Mexico, and now if we're going to do tariffs on, you know, productions of, you know, things produced in Mexico coming to America, they're going to charge them 25%, and that tariff is going to be put onto the consumers, and that's absolutely terrifying. Because imagine you're a kid trying to get into physical media, or you're new to physical media, and you're trying to justify it, and the prices just keep going up and up and up. I can see why it's not dying, but I can see why this group of ours isn't increasing the way it should be, the way people buy more cassettes, you know, people buy CDs, people buy vinyl. Like, it's still, physical media is still there. It's just, for some reason, we get shafted when it comes to movies. And what's worse is I'm seeing a lot of these predatory actions being done in boutique labels, which is crazy, because usually you think, oh, when we support boutique labels, they're out for us, they're the good guys. But then I'm seeing a lot of like AI transfers, a lot of things not coming with the proper accommodations for it to justify it being so much money. Like, I love me some Arrow Video. They come with huge box sets. It's absolutely fantastic. And that's a 4K I could justify buying, you know, for I think $49 for a limited edition. You get a lot of good stuff, great packaging, great transfers, great bonus features. And you'll see like another, I'm not going to name names, but then you'll see another one that doesn't even come with like bonus features, and it's still the exact same price, maybe even like, I would say maybe $5 or $10 less, but like the amount of difference between those two companies is absolutely insane. And where you get a 4K movie only region A locked, and you don't get any bonus features, and the prices are increasing, and it's just absolutely, I can go on about this all day, because I've just been so, not upset, but I've just been so like irked, because like a lot of the passion and a lot of the fun from collecting has dwindled, because now it's like stress, like, oh, I have to get it day one or else I'm never gonna get it again. And like, and I usually say like, I'm not trying to feed into FOMO, and I'm not. That's why I haven't been collecting. And thankfully, not thankfully, but here in Canada, they don't produce slipcovers anymore because they want to cut costs, but it's not translated. Like, I remember I made a video and saying, if they want to cut cost measures, at least translate that into the price of the actual 4Ks. Like, if we were buying, like, if those brand new 4Ks, like Ghostbusters Afterlife was $39 to $40 brand new, no Blu-ray, I believe, or no digital code and no slipcover, it makes it a real hard sell, because if there's no collectability behind the releases, I'm not going to buy that shit day one. I'm going to wait for a sale, because what the fuck is the point of me buying it day one, besides the whole supporting filmmakers and all that kind of thing. There's no collectability as a collector, because they've acknowledged that physical media is now a niche market, but the way they treat the niche market doesn't really feel like a niche market. They only want to charge you the niche prices, but they're not putting in the extra things to make, because a lot of people love artisan things, you know, whether it's homemade things and those kind of things, because there's quality, because there's passion behind it. And a lot of these releases, it's dwindling. There's no passion behind these releases, and they're expecting you to pay $40. Absolutely insane. Anyways, rant over. Sorry, I keep going into different rants. So anyways, yeah, but that has been today's video. Let me know down below if you've been experiencing this, because it's just been insane. But anyways, yeah, so that's what we talked about here. Physical media. We love physical media. We love movies. We love nerding out about things. So if you're also a nerd who loves physical media, hit that subscribe button, because expect more to come. I've also recently reorganized my entire movie section, so stay tuned for an entire movie collection. I wanted to break it up into 4K and then Blu-ray, just because I have so many, but a lot of you guys have been asking me to do a whole movie collection, so it's going to be a bit of a beast, so make sure to prepare some snacks for that. So anyways, that was today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because it is free and it means a whole lot to me. Anyways, that has been it. I've been Mace from the Mockbuster YouTube channel. Please have yourself a good day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching this. Please stay safe and God bless. Peace, cheers, and long live physical media. See you guys.